There we go.
Hello.
Right, hello everybody. Here is the
We managed
news.
to get here on time.
We are on time, but I forgot to get myself a drink. So I'll let you say hello and I'll do that.
Okay.
I haven't got any squash left. It might have to be water.
Right. Well, yeah, we just thought we'd put out a Q&A thing tonight, just something different to do. Should we start saying hellos first?
Yeah, we'll say a few hellos, let people.
Ernesto in first. I'm not sure if you were in first, but you were first in our chat. Steve, hello. Haul time? No, we don't have a haul tonight. We have bought some stuff. We went charity shopping yesterday, but I'm going to do a haul separately.
Well, we actually went to a jumble sale.
Well, we went to a jumble sale as well.
It was, well, let's quickly talk about that. We'll give people a chance to get in before we start doing the questions. We went to a jumble sale.
I haven't said hello. I've only said hello to two people.
Oh, we'll carry on that sec. We went to a jumble sale and it was, well, firstly, it said it started at 10. We turned up. We weren't as early as we normally are. We got there about 10 to 10 or something. Walked up and it was open and had been running for quite a while by the look of it. We walked in thinking, well, what's the point in advertising and start time? And
we bumped into another reseller that we've met a couple of times now, and she was saying that she was wandering around. It was in Dereham, and she was wandering around Dereham, waiting for it to be 10.
Yeah,
turned up, and she could have been there a lot earlier.
So we did buy stuff there, and then we went charity shopping and did quite well. But we thought, I don't know, we just fancied doing something different. So I did put out a post on Instagram. I think I've only got a couple of questions on there. I'll have a look and we'll take questions from the chat. But do you want to finish saying some hellos?
Yes, let's say hello to more than two people.
Jake.
Hello, Jake.
You are very welcome. Tina, hello. Marcus is in. What's that? Hope Jeff is all right. Well, touch wood. I haven't heard many tonight here.
No, it's been very grumbly tonight. I don't know if he can hear things that we can't.
Yeah, exactly that. He can hear them from far away. But there were a lot. Was it last night, I guess?
Well, last night, I think next door had some fireworks. They had big ones. And I thought they'd finished. And I had sort of, sounds on. I was going to say music, but I think I was watching something. So, to kind of drown it out a little bit. He was still very clingy. But then he had his dinner and I thought it had finished, and I opened the door to let him out and it went bang and absolutely terrified. It
was the loudest one of the night.
I know.
And it just got out.
It was the worst timing ever. It was just,
yeah.
I think it was like their finale type big firework.
So then he was quivering on the sofa after that. So yes, there's Maria. I won't sing today. Welcome. So I can see some questions coming in. So we'll start on some of those in a sec. We're at 194 people in. That's slowed down. So I think most people that are going to be here are here. So I can start with this one. This comes up quite a lot. Evening all. Question from myself. Hi, Steve. Is there any profitable way to sell low value media anymore since Royal Mail large letter prices went up? The question there is, what do you class as low value media? I would say these days, $3.99, $2.99, there's nothing left there. It's not really going to be worth your time. Having said that, there's still stuff left on my store at that value, stuff I've ended up with. But after fees of, say, 70p, even on that low value, it is still that sort of money. Post of up to 150 on some weights of large letter, nothing really left. So the answer is probably no, it's not worth your time. You want to be, if you can find it, selling media at £10 plus. But we still have a bunch of stuff on our store that we're trying to get rid of that's, hardly worth the time.
£10 plus or...
Ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got stuff on at £5 plus. There might be £1 or £2 in it. Again, is it worth your time? So, yeah, it hasn't helped with large letter prices going up, that's for sure. Right, I was going to refresh Instagram, wasn't I? Right, there's a couple of questions on there. Emma Garvey has said, what do you avoid buying to resell, even if it will make you profit?
Oh.
Clothes.
Yeah.
I went off a long time ago. Many of you may not be aware. Around the time I started YouTube, we were renting a small like warehouse and office space, and we were doing or trying to do nothing but clothes. You went into it in a huge way, and I got rapidly sick of it and went back to doing what I do now.
You were grumpy McGrumpus.
Yeah, and then what, a year or two back, you decided you were done with clothes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mostly. There's still some.
There's vintage clothes left, which I mentioned in my last video. But the reason why is because it just takes me so long to list them because I'm too fussy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I just had to move away from it for my own sanity. And now I just really love ceramics. Just absolutely love homeware. So,
but I think if a really nice vintage piece comes up, we'd still buy it.
Yeah.
And we have done a couple of times recently.
Yeah, well, we bought a few items in, didn't we, from a neighbour, along with some homeware and decor and vintage stuff from him. So
it's in your video, that coat, that sheepskin coat, and a load of shoes. So it's not like we don't actually completely rule it out, but as a rule of thumb, we avoid clothes, even though we know there's so much money in it. And as you've probably seen on YouTube, there are people that are specialising in clothing and doing very well out of it.
A lot of people.
Horses for courses. It's not for me, and it's not really for you anymore.
No.
So yeah, that was from Emma. Thanks for the question. I think there was at least one more question on Insta. Let's see if I can refresh.
I can feel that we're going to be very behind in the chat. So I'm going to turn my phone down and open the chat on my phone. So if there's anybody, commenting on what we're talking about, we can see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Another one on Instagram. This is One Big Scribble. Said, I wondered, what's one retro gaming find that Nick wishes he'd kept, or at least sold at its peak price? By the way, you guys are great. Thank you. Loads, absolutely loads. When we first started the high street shop we had, we ran that for a long time. That was called Replay, and that was in Hitchin. So we started that in 2003, and it was like we opened the floodgates and stuff came in day out, including loads of retro. But a lot of that I was stockpiling. And I had a stockpile of N64 stuff that was huge. And we got to a point where I started taking one day off from the shop a week and listed it all on eBay at 2,000 and whatever it was, 4 or 5 prices. I wish I hadn't bothered. I wish I'd kept that box and put it in the loft.
Yeah.
Because it would have doubled or quadrupled by now. We had piles and piles of Game Boy, black and white Game Boy original cartridges, probably a couple of hundred, and you sold them off in bulk in job lots, didn't you? Do you remember? Yeah. So I wish we'd just put that in a cardboard box and forgotten about it. We used to have piles of Pokemon red, yellow, blue. They used to come in all day long, week in, week out, and we'd just turn them over. Then for about £10 a cartridge. Now I'm not sure what they are. They just keep going up. Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon, all of those. We had loads of them. Really but you can't. Well, you can stockpile, but where does it stop? And we had to make a living day in, day out.
Yeah.
But to be honest, in answer to the question, what I really wish I'd kept was my original Super Nintendo, which was in mint condition because I was that child. Well, not I was a teenager, like 17, 18 when I bought it. But I was that gamer who kept everything pristine. So it had all of its box, all of the inserts. Every game I bought, unless it was secondhand, was mint, and I sold a lot. Sold it all to a Frenchman.
A Frenchman,
from what I recall. My whole collection I think went for like £100 or £150. Would be worth a lot now. Like I say, all the games were mint boxed.
Yeah.
Prices have gone through the roof.
I just noticed a comment from Lex saying that her brother has started doing media in France on Amazon, and he looks for rare deleted DVDs and films with famous French actors. He may only buy like 5 things a day, but they'll get him 20 plus euros.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, I might do a separate video and share some of the haul at some time. I don't know, but the only thing I really bought at this jumble sale was 40 items of media. Funnily enough, it was 10 for £1. So I just went through, and somebody had donated, quite obviously, their collection of vintage. Oh, cha-ching! Vintage country music, and there's some really obscure country stuff in there. And I said to you, some of this will be worth a lot of money, some of it will be rubbish, and that's exactly the case. There's some CDs in there that are worth 20 quid. I was sat there on the sofa looking it up the other night. Well, last night.
Yeah.
But country artists, most of which we'd never heard of.
I feel, yeah, most of them I had. To be
Some,
honest.
oh, had you? Oh, I hadn't. Most of them, and they'll do well. So it's obscure stuff that I tend to go for. A couple of singles that are okay.
Yeah. And I picked up a Barbra Streisand CD, didn't I? Because they were only 10p each. Thinking, oh, I haven't got that one. And then you're like, actually, this is...
Actually, that might be worth a tenner.
Yeah.
And she's not obscure.
I might not be keeping that.
Well, if it's on Spotify, that's not a great...
Yeah, I know.
But yes.
But, I mean, I can listen to it on Spotify anytime. I normally do like just a shuffle, general. But, you know, because I've got a bit of a collection of her CDs, I thought I'll add it to that. And
well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Keep it if you like.
Yeah. So here's an interesting one.
Wow. Now we've gone deep.
Do you believe in the afterlife? Well, two different answers here, I think.
Yeah, I don't believe it. If I believe in something, I know it's true, and I can't say that is. I don't have any proof personally that it is, and so I can't say I believe that. Do I think I have the answers? No. Do I believe there isn't an afterlife? No. I know I don't know is the answer to that. But do I believe in it? No, 100%.
So it's going to be quite a long answer from me.
Oh,
how long have you got?
Shall I have a nap?
How do I praise it? I don't believe in an afterlife because I don't believe that there is something after life. I believe there is life, and not just human life. And I'm not talking about aliens. I'm talking about, I'm spiritualist. I don't go to a spiritualist church. I don't follow any organized religion, but I believe that we come from a source, we go back to that source, and I believe we're having a human experience. I believe we come here to learn something, and then we go back. And I believe in reincarnation. We come back as different people to learn different things. And that's what I believe. So I don't think that we die and we go to heaven and we knock on the gates and a man in a grey with a grey beard opens it.
You don't?
And we all live in eternal peace afterwards. I don't think it's like that. I think that, yeah,
So it's like a revolving door, kind of come in, you go out, come back as someone else. Yeah, okay.
So in honesty, this is going a bit left field, but there's a lot of talk about humans making ourselves extinct, which we are doing. We're having biggest mass extinction since dinosaurs. We're in an extinction event right now because of what we've done to the planet. But we're not killing the planet, we're killing ourselves. So our souls will eventually probably inhabit like AI robots and stuff. They'll probably end up becoming something else, you know.
Our souls will inhabit AI robots?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Blimey, folks, I'm learning stuff here as we go. Wow.
Because I don't think that humans are very arrogant, thinking that we are the be all and end all, really. But that's not true. And that's also a reason why I'm vegan. So there we are. There's a very big answer to a very big question. But that's a very small précis. I could talk for hours and days about it. My favourite subject.
I think we should move on to another question. Hi, Once Live Treasures. What sort of insurance do you recommend to cover your stock? Do you use additional home insurance or something separate for the business? Right, interesting one. We personally, and I'm not recommending this per se, is we do not insure our stock. Our home insurance knows, or our insurers know, we run a business, so that's not invalidated, but we don't list and insure our stock. It's a choice we make. We used to, when we had high street outlets, we had insurance for contents and buildings. But for the stock now, we don't insure that separately. We have contents for our own stuff, not for the stock. That's just how we choose it. But I wouldn't recommend that. So that's the answer to that one.
Could I just read out a couple of comments on the last one? I just found one, then I lost it. Oh, James Moore says, I was always a realist, but as I've gotten a bit older, you see and hear things that make you believe there's more to life. Yeah, exactly. Than what we can see. After all, there's Wi-Fi, infrared, etc., but we can't see, but it's there.
Yeah. Well, that kind of ties in with what I was trying to say. I'm not arrogant enough to say I think I know the answer to any of it.
Yeah, I don't know the answer either. I'm just
I'm not. That wasn't referring to you, but so I'm realistic enough to know that I don't know, and we can't. I don't think we're meant to answer the question. This is how this is what I end up with. I don't think we're meant to know, and I don't think it's important to whatever this life is. You've got to deal with what you're dealing with here, and we don't know the answer to the rest of it.
It just
for a good reason
fascinates me. I almost think that if I could go back in time, I'd have done theology.
Yeah.
It just really fascinates me.
I'm scrolling in the side chat, see if there's anything
Joe
else.
Forrest says the human body is a vehicle. Once it's done its job, the soul moves on. Basically, turn it off and back on again. Yeah. Turn
it off and on again.
It's kind of like that.
I've got one from the chat quickly. Jeff. Oh.
Will says, I've got another question. We might get to that. I won't answer that question now because that's a sub question. So, Lex says, Andrea's currently writing the next series of Black Mirror.
Yeah, right.
Adam says, I'll have whatever Andrea's smoking. C. Blaney says, 100% Andrea on the arrogance of humans. I haven't been watching The Outer Limits. I've never watched that, actually.
I'll quickly say hello to Aaron. Don't get the chance to watch very often. Been a while. Good to see you. And Sandy Sells, wishing everyone a happy Guy Fawkes night.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Another week done and one less till Christmas. Christmas is racing ever closer. Got my birthday before Christmas. We've decided I have a big birthday this year, but I don't know. I kind of do know why. I don't want a party. I don't want to fuss. And I think that's a reaction to having a big party on my 40th and not enjoying it. So we've decided we're going to go away. We're going to go away, just the two of us, and enjoy being somewhere else and chilling out. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I'm doing. But that's going to come around quick. We're in November. What happened?
Yeah. Wow. So it's only 4 weeks away, your birthday.
What have we got here? Hi, I have a question. With the gaming mats you sold, where did you buy bulk from, please? Looking to start a brand, and I'm very much a beginner in this world, maybe. Okay, the gaming mats came from a whole van load of stuff. The video's on the channel, you may see it. We bought in bulk from a contact I've had for years. I don't share the contact, and I won't share that contact. I recommend telling everyone you ever meet what you do and the sort of stock you're after, and eventually you'll find someone that can sort you out with it. But yeah, that came from somebody, that I've been dealing with for years. I actually need to get back in touch with him because he sent me an email with a list of stuff that I had an option on, and I haven't got back to him. Need to do that tomorrow, probably. Okay, next.
If you could choose one superpower, what would it be and why? You go first.
One superpower. Okay, I've been asked this before, but I think I had a different answer. But I would choose to be able to predict the future.
Oh, I don't think I'd want to know.
Yeah, well, you'd have to be careful, wouldn't you? Because maybe I
Yeah.
don't want to know everything. But then you can just play the stock market and not have to worry about money.
I see you want to cheat.
Or just, well, yeah. If that's such a thing as a superpower, you can
That's
get
like in Back to the Future when he buys the almanac.
exactly that. Well, you could just turn up in the bookies and go, well, the winner on this one's that. Oh, and that's 100 to 1. Here's $1,000. Too easy, right? Go on then.
I've got to think of one. Sorry. I just don't know.
Popular ones are like flying or invisibility.
Yeah, well, invisibility was the first thing that came to my mind, but I'm not sure if I'd want to settle with that one. I don't know.
What would you do with invisibility? What, just become invisible and then sneak around places and watch people?
I know. That's why I didn't go for that one, because I thought it sounds a bit creepy.
It's a bit sneaky.
Sometimes I like to be invisible. Sometimes I am invisible. But
Oh, yeah.
It feels like it.
You're revealing things here.
It feels like it.
She's already got superpower, invisibility.
I don't know what superpower to be able. I don't know, to be able to. I was going to say to be able to bring peace in the world, but that's what the Avengers will try and do, and they get themselves into trouble all the time. So
they just cause arguments.
They cause more trouble than it's worth sometimes. So I don't know.
There we go. There's your answer. Don't know. Right, I'm trying to see if there's any more questions.
Yeah, there are a few.
People talking about fireworks. Yeah, Jeff's been okay. He struggled with it last night, but this evening, touch wood, he's okay.
There's one from Sandringham Slipper.
Here. Ooh, go on
then. What changes did you have to make in your life when you went full-time resellers online versus your shop?
When we went back to full-time, what changes did we have to make? It's not one we had to make, but I found it suddenly hard to manage my time because we used to operate on the shop time. So we had a start point and an end point. Even though I used to stay on and work late quite a bit, we had a start point. I'm not very good at starting, right? But when you've got to be at a shop and open the doors, it enforces that on you. So when we left, we were then back in we work when we want, which is kind of what we wanted, right? To be more chilled and whatever. But that has its own level of problems, time management.
Yeah.
So time management instantly became problematic.
Up until 2020, that wasn't an issue for me because I used to have to get up and take Ellen to school.
Yeah.
Or at least get her ready for school. After 2020, that was more difficult.
Other changes, I found that I needed to do more social things because when we ran the shop, I would speak to people all day long. And I had a lot of acquaintances, some who turned into genuine friends, but most were just acquaintances. But it was still scratching that social itch, day in, day out, talking to people, seeing people. And then when you suddenly switch back to working from home, when you just see each other all day long, all week long, I remember there being a need to scratch the social itch more.
Yes, definitely. But also I was thinking on a practical terms, we had to be more vigilant about sourcing because when we had the shop, stuff was coming in over the counter all the time. So
we had to instantly structure and make more effort to get stock because it wasn't just coming in through the door all day long anymore.
I'm not sure if this question is one we can answer. Why is it so hard to mass edit your postage costs? I don't know if we've ever really done that.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a system. Yeah, it's a good question. They should make that easy because that's something that's constantly changing at the moment.
Matthew wants to know, was it easier to source stock where you lived before compared to where you live now? No.
Only in that we did have some local boot sales, and I think maybe more nearer. But there are boot sales here that I think next year we'll explore a bit more.
But there are so many,
a bit further afield.
So many yard sales and jumble sales.
There are, in Norfolk, our experience has been way more village jumble trails, which have been really good this year for us.
And as the weather's got bad, more jumble sales. I mean, like we said, yesterday we could have gone to 3.
Yeah.
So
it's odd, isn't it, that different parts of the country, we speak to people who say there's no jumble sales where I am at all. There's no yard sale events at all. Yet in East Anglia, it's really part of the culture.
Oh, there we go.
Do you have an argument with Andrea if you get a strop? If you get a strop and don't sell as much as you anticipated?
Do you ever get a strop if you don't sell as much as you anticipated? I don't think I've ever seen you get a strop about that.
I don't.
He gets a strop if the printer's not working.
Yeah, right. Well, let's list the things that really wind me up. I don't tend to get stressed about that per se, not what's in there, but I get stressed about technology not doing its one job. Mostly the printer. We've all had it. Printer, the computer, my phone talking to the laptop, my GoPro not doing what it's supposed to do, and uploading, downloading stuff.
It's technology.
YouTube suddenly deciding it's going to take 4 hours to upload a video, and normally it's like 10 minutes. I'm instantly enraged.
If you've seen, to see it is to believe it when Nick's having a strop.
So, and then it doesn't tend to form an argument, but you would tell me afterwards you were in a right arse for that. I was like, okay, sorry, I
want to go and hide.
So I lose my stuff over silly little things, usually technology. There you go. What causes you to lose your cool?
Things that spark my anxiety, generally, because then I get to a boiling point. I kind of describe it as like you can, when you have sort of general anxiety, you have it's like blocks of things that go on one on top of the other, and it gets to a point where they're all about to topple because you've put too many on. And that's when I get
preparing for people to come and stay for a weekend, you'll get up to a boiling point.
Really hard. I mean, I'm trying to get better, but I get so worried about what how people will perceive. I have to have everything clean and tidy, and
well, I think everybody has that, but for you it triggers certain things, right? So I noticed that.
If somebody's coming, I need my coping mechanism is to like, we've got people coming to visit on Saturday. So like my new sort of coping mechanism with that is do a bit over the week. Yeah. So it's not all too much all in one go. But if somebody says, I'm coming tomorrow, or I'm just going to pop around, I'm like, because I think, oh my God, there's washing up something I haven't done yet. And quick, get the Hoover out. And I'm like, I worry about what people are going to think if they come in, and like, and quite often our neighbours will just like, Ron will just walk in, like, it's fine, that's how it is, everyone's friendly, and he'll come and poke his head in the and talk to you for a while, and then he'll come in and say hello, and I have to say to him, I'm so sorry about the mess, because I've got stock everywhere, and I've got washing up from lunch, and I probably haven't wiped the top down, from making a sandwich or whatever.
Whereas, and we do sometimes clash over this, whereas I'm like, I don't care. It's you take me as I am.
Yeah, right? And I wish I could be more like that. I wish
like if our neighbour does come around, he'll pop in the back and just come in the shed. Sometimes it's been an absolute mess. I've got stuff everywhere, and I'll be singing along to the radio or whatever. And but I'm fine with it. But so we differ on that a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. What's this one here? Darren, hello. Hi, Nick and Andrew. Have you noticed the large letter width size measurements have shrunk to 23 centimetres on eBay? Well, it used to be 25, but it's still 25 at the post office.
Oh.
I hope, because that's what my large letter guide is. Why have they changed
that? And also, we've noticed that? Well, I don't know when it changed, to be honest. There's small and medium parcels, and I was just charging for small parcels. I didn't realise there was a different size, or there was a cut-off size for small parcels.
Yeah, small parcel is kind of like a large shoebox. So it's 16, 35, 45.
Yeah. Has it always been like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yes, because now I take advantage of small parcel. In the past, I used to just do everything 48, where that wasn't an issue. And we did it on average, but now I take it.
So maybe that was my confusion, because that's what I used to do.
Yeah. Anyway, I haven't noticed that eBay are now saying 23. That said, not 23 centimeters as well. It's millimeters, by the way. You're talking about the width, aren't you? Yeah, the width. So yeah, millimeters, not 20. Yeah.
Okay.
Thickness.
Yeah.
Or are we talking about?
Maybe.
Because the depth of a large letter is 25 mil, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know. I might have just got confused with your question there.
There's one from Sandy Sells there.
Oh, quickly, there's a reply. Thanks for answering the questions. N64 stuff would have been great. I let an Atari Jaguar go for peanuts back in the day. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. We used to get all sorts come through the shop, and because that was how we were earning a living daily. Yeah, if a Jaguar came in, I think it only ever did once. There's so few about. I would price it up and put it out and sell it, and it would be gone within. Often that the uncommon stuff would be gone within days. We used to get Game Gears in weekly. We had Atari Lynxes come in, but they would always just fly out at whatever the going rate was, because that's how we earned a living. And could I put it all away in the loft? Yes. Should I be doing that now? And there's an argument for yes, but then
you need a crystal ball, really.
Hence my superpower.
That superpower, yeah. Sandy Sells says, have you bought anything on Vinted for reselling? We have bought clothes, plushes, and ceramic bundles. Made good profit on them. We haven't, no.
No, but somebody else was talking about that. I saw a video somewhere, and yeah, it was quite intriguing. Or was it James that said that? No. Anyway, yes, I'm aware that there are stuff sells on Vinted for way less than its potential value. So taking advantage of it, probably a good idea.
DG says, do you still get excited and check every time you get a cha-ching, or do you just wait until the posting day? Oh no, we get excited about every cha-ching.
Yeah, I do tend to look. Mind you, we had a ka-ching a while back and I didn't even look at what it was. But sometimes if I've been busy doing other stuff, it's really nice to just open eBay and go, ooh.
Yeah. I don't have the sounds on my phone. So I don't hear the ka-ching, but I quite often hear the ka-ching from your phone.
With the last ka-ching wasn't particularly exciting. It's some of the round labels. And we sold some more Karen Millen jewelry, but not paid for. Is that an offer?
I think it was I think they counted and I counted back.
Oh yeah. So
right, let's see. Have you heard the new Beatles song? Yes.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I particularly enjoyed, and I showed you, didn't I, last night? There's a documentary on the Beatles YouTube channel about how they recovered Lennon's vocals and then were able to incorporate that into the song. And everybody's on it, because there's a George Harrison slide guitar solo, I believe, on it. Really good song, and it's really touching, because if you listen to the lyrics and then relate it to the living Beatles missing the ones that have passed.
I actually cried.
Yeah.
I watched the video.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. And I was looking on Amazon last night. The hard copy of the single was #1.
You were disappointed with the sleeve.
Yeah, the sleeve was awful. It just a typeface saying now and then. I thought, at least whack a picture of the Beatles on it.
Yeah.
If you're going to put a hard copy, like a physical media copy out there, put some effort into the artwork. Otherwise, what's the point?
Lex says, I barely believe in this life. Well, Lex, that's because we're all living in the Matrix. It's all a big simulation, isn't it?
Oh, she's off again.
Okay. Andy Hop says, hi Nick, watched your old video on how to do multi-variation listings this week. Found it very useful, so thanks for that. That's good.
Thank you. I'm overheating.
Right, I'm just scrolling down to try and find the next question. This was the question that I saw earlier. Will says, with reference to the afterlife question, which famous person would you like to come back as? I don't want to come back as a famous person.
But that's a strange question, because if you're coming back, you're going to come back as a baby. So what? And then just experience their life, because surely you would do it differently.
Yeah.
So you might come back as, I don't know, John Lennon, but not practice the guitar and be rubbish at it. And the Beatles wouldn't form. I might mess up the Beatles.
Yeah, so the answer to that is I wouldn't.
If we rephrase the question and say, whose life would you like to experience for a while? There's so many options. I'd love to experience being in a huge band and being on stage and experiencing that rush that they must get from the crowd.
Yeah, well, I would.
No matter who.
Yeah, I'd love to experience that. I would have loved to have been in a band. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have to learn how to play instruments for that. So.
Well, not if you're just going to come back and be inside someone's life for an hour.
Yeah, I'd be worried, though, that I'd be in their body, like,
and mess
then
it up.
Suddenly I wouldn't know how to. I'd still be me. I wouldn't know how to play the guitar.
And over to the guitar solo. Ah!
I'd be like, I can't do it. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the question. Oh, what's that going back? Someone mentioned left field. I used to love left field. Left field, haven't listened to them in a while, says Steve. Oh God, yeah. Loved left field. I don't know if they had any more albums, but I certainly had the first two albums. The one with the shark's teeth around the speaker. Oh, that was so good. There's a track on there with Tony Halliday, Original it's called, doing the vocals. That was like my favourite song at the time. And then their follow-up, the album, God, I can't remember the name of it. Black cover with the samurai outfit on. That's so good. I need to listen to Left Field next week now.
I can only think of what that one album cover, sort of greyish.
With the shark's teeth?
Yeah. Kevin says, where do you get your bubble wrap? I'm forever buying small rolls of it.
A lot of it comes from people saving it. Marcus, you might still be in the chat. They've been saving bubble wrap for us, which is so useful and helpful. We sometimes go to a particular dumpster that we found locally at a pet shop, and we pull out cardboard and sometimes bubble wrap and void fill and all of that. But I also do run out, so then I buy great big rolls. I tend to get that from eBay. So there you go. 42 is the answer, apparently.
Okay. Question from Lex. You can answer first.
That's Lainey.
Oh, I was looking at Lex above. Sorry, Lainey. If you could change something about yourself, not physical, is there something that you would change?
Oh, my goodness. Not physical. Have you got an answer? That needs some thought.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd like to worry less.
I'm saying for you. That's something. It's debilitating, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I would like to be less worrisome, less fearful, more live in the moment and take things as they come. And yeah, I
would like to be. I'm much better with being socially anxious these days, but I would like to be 100% in the moment in a conversation and take it in and be a better listener. That's what I would like to change. And it's something I've been working on most of my life, but I still think I could improve on that. Sometimes I talk to people and I've been overthinking things or worrying about what I said or stuff, and I don't take it in.
Yeah.
And I'm not present and in the moment, and it's something that I think stems from when I was super shy as a kid and didn't speak to anybody, and then grew up through my teenage years being very socially awkward and anxious, and I still have traits from that. So that's something I'm working on, but I wish I was better at. There you go. What was that? Can you scroll back just to say something about it? Whiz past that one. Oh, hi, Gary. If aliens come, it will be human arrogance that thinks it's for them. Well, yes. We saw a clip on Gogglebox of a weird show.
Oh, we didn't catch what it was because we were talking.
Where what looked like an alien arrived and scared this young woman, and then she ended up killing the alien by the look of it. And yeah, I don't know what show it was, but it was really random.
Happy 60th in advance, Nick.
60th. I'm not that old yet. Got a way to go.
Oh, Penny's back with the jokes here. I've turned down a job lot of tarot cards. I couldn't see a future in them. By the way, cold. Nick is not 60. He is 50.
I'm not 50 yet.
Not yet. Oh, yes, Peter. Good question. Yes, we're thinking January. We need to look at dates. I did mention this to a couple of other people, and I haven't looked at any dates yet.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. So January again, because it works better. We're not all so stressed before Christmas, and we can all relax a little bit and enjoy. Yeah.
Jessica says, I don't look a day over 21.
Oh, there's a dog barking outside and Jeff can hear it.
Jeff's not agreeing with you. Why can't I highlight that one?
Oh, I don't know. Go in the middle. Oh, that's weird, isn't it?
There we go. It's up now.
No.
Jeff, come on.
No, when I did, Jeffrey, come here. Come here.
Do you have a SKU system? We don't have a general SKU.
Do you have a SKU system, Jeff?
Jeff? No, I do for small fiddly items that go in my cabinet, or if I list if I get a job lot of, I don't know, postcards, for example, or trading cards, I then have an envelope and numbered SKU system because you can easily get them muddled up or confused. But for the stuff you see me picking most of the time, no, it's just on shelves. We did used to have a shelf SKU system when we listed and worked through the thousands upon thousands of car parts. I used to have shelving systems. So that was shelving system A, B, C, D, and then they were all numbered.
And I did when I had clothes as well.
Yeah, we used to bag them, and then they would be in numerical order.
In a box, and each box would have a letter, and then
when you have those Calax. Yeah. Sharon says, we live not far from where Guy Fawkes lived and plotted the blowing up of Parliament. Interesting. I'm sorry to hear that, Andrew. I was talking to somebody today who's had a horrific time recently with his partner. Yeah, passing away, who had dementia. My dad has had to go into a home because of dementia. It's costing $1,100 a week.
That's ridiculous.
A week.
I know. My granddad had Alzheimer's, and he had a good pension because he was in the RAF, but that was all going on his care, basically, plus some of my nan's pension. So yeah, it's not good. No,
it's a horrible situation. Yeah. There's James, it's a good superpower. Why didn't I think of that? List all my items at the click of my fingers.
Yeah.
What would we do with our time?
Done. Yeah, that would be amazing. Tidy up, like Mary Poppins. Like I was saying in my last video, like I wish I could just click my fingers and it would all be done.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yes. Why isn't there a superhero?
Thank you for that. That would definitely be my superpower.
There should be a superhero called Clicky Finger person who just does that, and all the washing up's gone.
Jake says, if you could go back 1 year in the history of the Earth, which year would it be?
I'll go back to a year. Ooh, blimey. I don't know. What era are you drawn to? I think we both like the kind of Victorian and maybe 20s. Yeah, it would be so cool to go back to the 20s and go out in London.
I'd like to go back to a happy time in my life.
Ooh.
And be invisible, because you're not supposed to see yourself, are you? But like just witness what was going on in that happy time of my life and see people that are no longer here. And
yeah. Oh, that's a better answer. Yeah, go back to a time when my granddad was still around and just sit and watch him, being there with us kids, and that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we answered this earlier, but you probably went in at that point. He's not too bad tonight. He's been a bit grumbly, but last night we had really loud fireworks next door, and he wasn't coping very well with that, was he?
My reselling superpower, this is Lex.
Yeah.
I want a big neon arrow that only I can see over something that I can make loads of money on. Oh,
so
right.
Basically, it's going, look, there it is.
When
That's
you're
the
sourcing,
thing you want to buy.
So you turn up at a boot sale and there'd just be a bunch of giant arrows and you just run to all the arrows.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's pure cheating, that is, Lex.
Penny says, if you identify as invisible, does that make you transparent?
Oh, what's this one? I would love the power to freeze time, then you could enjoy those moments for a little longer.
Oh.
Yeah. But then everyone would just be like, I'm not sure you'd be in the moment if everyone else is.
You just will be. Yeah. Teleport. Now that's a good one.
I can do that.
Yes, because then you wouldn't have to fly.
I can do that.
Oh. So for Lex.
Have you not watched my videos? And I didn't steal it from Lex.
Yeah, I'm trying to find questions.
Healing power, the power to help. Why didn't we think,
Absolutely.
Why didn't we think about the others?
Well, I was trying to, but I wasn't doing very well.
Super speed. Get your picking and packaging done quicker. That would be, spend way too long packaging. Oh, Stephen's in. Hello.
Oh, ABBA was incredible. Yeah. Bit jealous about that.
What does that say? I love watching you two. Did eBay years ago, but apparently it's changed a lot. It has. They keep adding things to it. Some things which aren't that helpful. Some
Every
things.
week it seems.
Yeah.
Okay, then here is an actual question from Lex, not Lainey. Was there a time when you thought that everything was going wrong and you nearly gave up? Yes.
Offish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's been multiple times over the years where you feel like that, but you keep going and it gets better. Yeah. I mean, there was a time when our children's clothes shop wasn't going very well, and
we had to do a U-turn.
Yeah,
we had to change and decide, get to a point where we said, okay, this isn't doing what we'd hoped, and just change course again.
Yeah, just got to keep, it's like a roller coaster, isn't it?
The biggest time for me, and we've talked about this before, so I'll keep it brief, was when the really big break-in we had, and we had several attempts, but the one where they smashed the front of the shop in, got in, trashed the place, and stole anything of any significant value. That was the point where I said, I said it out loud. I said, I'm done with this. This has finished me off. But moments like that, it's how you get up and carry on that defines you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So it took me quite a while to really pick myself up from that. But we did.
Yeah. I think over the years, we've kind of tag teamed on, sort of propping the other one up, just if that makes sense. Like you said you lay on the floor and said, "That's it, I'm done," and I was immediately went into fight or flight mode, and we carried on, and then we got to a point where I was like, "No, I'm done." Like,
Yeah, I think naturally when one half of a partnership is down, the other one hopefully can find something to lift. It's not easy. And I think anybody, and those in the chat who run their own business or has done or is thinking about it, be prepared for it being tough. Not all the time, and the payoff is there. I wouldn't necessarily change it, but I've had some really low moments where I'm thinking, I can't do this anymore. Absolutely.
Yeah. But we've made it through.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gadget Man, for the super chat. I'm so sorry we didn't see it before because we've been trying to keep up with the questions in order, and we didn't see it come through. So sorry about that, but thank you for this. We appreciate the super chat. And the question is it worth paying eBay 12% to promote my listing? At the moment, I swing violently back and forth on this. And at the moment, I'm not going to give them any of my extra money.
It's so difficult to know with promoted whether your item would have sold itself anyway, and you're just giving eBay a tax, essentially. I did mention this in a video a while back, that if it's an item that you're thinking, I really need to move this on, this has been quite sticky and it needs to go, rather than having like a 20% sale.
No wonder it's not selling if it's sticky.
Rather than knocking a slice of money off it and reducing the price, do that in percentage. So instead of knocking 12% off, run a 12% promotion. So your item gets pushed out further. That worked for me on some stuff. But
going back to that question ages ago about postage costs and bulk, changing them. I thought that we had to use business policies.
Well, is there a quick way to just change the load then? I think so. Can you just highlight loads? I've not tried it.
I don't know about changing, but I just add a new one, and I don't know. I mean, you do end up with loads of redundant ones, but
you can change your policy that's in place, can't you?
You can edit it,
and it alters every one of your listings that has it. So in that sense, you can edit them. I haven't done it for so long.
Yeah. Oh, hello, J-Lo, the original. Andrea, have you heard about the Crazy Lamp Ladies? Yes, Lamp Ladies' new selling platform, and will you be selling on it? I don't think it's open to the UK yet, is it? It's just America and Canada.
No, that video you showed me, they said that's something that will come at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for her. It's a great opportunity, isn't it? And I wish her every success with it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And if it, does come to the UK, then give it a go.
Yeah, it's exciting for them. We were talking about this the other night. Obviously, they are building this incredible website and app, etc. And then who's the other person you follow?
Oh, Laura Caldwell.
Laura Caldwell, huge American reseller, has developed an app for selling vintage and homewares.
Yeah, locally. Well, it's not selling, it's promoting local businesses and hooking people up if they're looking for specific things with local businesses.
Yeah. It's a clever idea.
I think it's called, isn't it? Or something like that.
Oh, niche, which is niche in my world.
In America, it's a niche.
Yeah.
And then of course we've got our app going on.
We are slowly but surely developing an app. Yes. Jake Thompson. Question for Nick. What is your all-time favorite game? Okay, Nintendo, without a doubt. I am a Nintendo fan at heart. And I think it has to be Super Mario World on the SNES. There was never a game that I was more excited about and then lived up to the potential more than that. I had it day one of its release here in the UK. Loved every minute of completing it, and then went back and completed it many times after that. It was the game that just kept giving. I just We loved it. All the secret hidden levels and the secret shortcuts to the end, and just so well designed, so much fun, so much replayability. I mean, it wasn't cheap back then. I think, what were games then? 40, 50 quid. They were expensive on cartridge. Even back, this is 92.
Crazy.
Yeah, most SNES games were about 40 quid in 92. But they were worth the money. Most of them. Then there was the odd dud, but yeah. Apart from that, Tetris. I was an absolute Tetris addict on my black and white Game Boy. I got ridiculously good at that game. Yeah.
Sandy Sells, talking of the app, says, will Santa bring me Thrift Map on my iPhone for Christmas? Not for Christmas.
We are looking to get the iPhone completed between now and New Year, but then we've got a series of debugging and testing, so it's likely to come out in the new year at some point. And I'm not going to pin a time on it. We've got a lot of things to get done in between now and then. I will say no to Christmas. I'm sorry. But the thing is, by the time the next season will start, let's say kind of March, April, things really start kicking off.
April, I think.
With yard sales and boot sales. So that's kind of, if we have a goal, that's it now.
Yeah.
But we said this year, so.
I think that's the sensible thing, is to have it out for the beginning of the new season.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And we were I'll start that again. We're in a much better position than we were. We have Android version 1, which is out there. It's been well and truly tested. All of the functionality is working on it. There's a lot we need to improve and change, which will come with version 2. So we know we've got a working, useful platform. We've just got to replicate it on iPhone.
Lex has another question. Have you used the AI description option for listings? I tried it on one. It was hilarious. I haven't done that yet.
I've seen some AI descriptions.
We've read some, which are quite amusing.
It's a load of flowery waffle that nobody needs.
No.
Right?
Yeah. We should do it just for a laugh.
Maybe I will. It'd be a good video to make.
Yeah, it would be.
I was looking at some, I think I was listing media. So I went into a listing and that had an obvious AI thing. And it was just such a load of repetitious waffle. This movie will be great for you and your family, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, what you want to know is what the movie is, what the condition is. You don't need AI waffling at you about rubbish. My opinion only, or maybe it's yours as well.
Yeah, I'm not too keen. I'm not in a rush to use it, to be honest. Chris G says, when are you putting your Christmas decorations and twinklies up? Well, Ellen is coming home just before your birthday. So I've told her we're going away. She knows we're going away. But she's coming home probably the Monday before for a couple of days. So we're going to do it then. Because I have to wait for Ellen.
Before my birthday?
She has to be involved in it.
Christmas doesn't start till after my birthday.
But if I put them up after your birthday, then it's going to be ages, because Ellen won't be able to come home. So
I'm joking. I'm not bothered.
So yeah, usually the beginning of December at some point.
In our house, that is something Andrew and Ellen enjoy. So I let them get on with it. I don't have much to do with it. I sometimes help put up lights and things or whatever, but not really. It's not my bag.
No, you keep yourself scarce, don't you? You don't enjoy it. But I saw that Emma on Instagram has put her tree up already, and I was thinking, it's a fine balance, really. You've got this. I think if I put it up now, I'd feel like it lost its charm before it was actually Christmas, and I don't really feel very Christmassy yet. So I like to do it at the beginning of December, and then I feel like Christmas has started. There you are. That's the answer to that.
I don't know what this is in relation to, but I know, right? It's only because I pick on his taste in music. Well, that's me then, right? And then has a sneaky jab at Lana. Look. There's a question there. What's this one? A couple of questions. Are you still friends with Beck and Zahir? Yes, I don't speak to them much anymore, but I should. I should message to here, see how he's doing. I occasionally dip into his videos. I think they stopped doing their live stream. They used to do a regular live stream that we would dip in
He
and out of.
streams from the shop quite often, but I tend
Yeah.
to miss it because I'm working and I don't see him
Yeah,
live. So
I don't have as much contact at all. We haven't spoken for a while. What's this? Is there going to be any videos where you see what people are up to these days, like Ben Fitzpatrick?
Do you know what? That would be really fun. But I know what Ben's up to because I've been watching his Disney World videos. He's got a new series out at the moment, so I've been watching through those. And of course, Corey and Helen have had a baby. Well, not such a baby anymore. So they're parents and they're still traveling the world and doing their
it's not something we have planned. I did try and get back into doing chats with other resellers and just got very busy on other stuff. Life got in the way, but we could revisit that again. Yeah,
it would be good to talk to Zahir and Beck actually, because we haven't for ages. And it's not that we're still friends and everything. It's just you kind of, I don't know. It's just you drift apart, don't you?
Yeah.
Or you know.
Life moves
gets
on.
In the way.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to try and get to the end of the chat. We might touch on a couple of questions, but I've just noticed it's already 9 o'clock.
Oh, what's more exciting, the find or the sell? I think the find has the edge.
The find has the edge if you know what it is and how good it is. But sometimes we've bought things and just like, oh, there's another cool ceramic, like the chicken. But the find wasn't exciting because you were like, oh, that's cool.
That's a nice thing. And then when you sell it for like however much, you're like, wow, that's really exciting.
Flogging it for 200 or 300 quid or whatever it was, that was more exciting than finding it because you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So it does.
Depends a bit.
It does depend, doesn't it?
Same with the Atari cartridge, the infamous one. I was excited to buy the whole gaming collection, but that insignificant cartridge was meh. I discounted it completely.
Yeah.
But flogging it was the most exciting moment I've ever had on eBay.
Oh, Joe's Kaching has stopped working. I think you can try uninstalling the app and installing it again. Sometimes that works.
That usually works. Oh, Still said the find, the sell always carries the possibility of going wrong. Ooh, yeah. That's a bit of dampener on things. Oh, my kaching is always turned off. I hate eBay nagging me. That's not nagging. That's going, yay, you sold something. Okay.
Is Lego still worth buying?
Quick answer, yes. In fact, I sold a bundle of Lego over the weekend for £70, private sale.
Penny says, I used to have a phobia of 70s music. At first, I was afraid.
I was petrified.
If you could live in any time period, what would it be?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Maybe the Stone Age. Going back to my answer to the first one about
let's start a band. I just saw that comment.
I like the aesthetic and feel of the 20s.
I do too. The whole Art Deco, the clothes, and
because it was coming out of the First World War, and I think there was a positivity and a kind of flamboyance going on, and the music and all of that. I don't know. Maybe it's just the films I've watched and stuff. They glamorize. It's like even the Victorian period looks like quite nice when you look back at it. But it wasn't. I wouldn't really want to live there.
No, and I think that's the same with any era, to be honest with you, because then if you lived in the 20s, then you have to go through the Second World War. That isn't what you just said, is it? So there's downsides to everything.
60s would have been fun.
We're probably living in pretty much one of the best times, even though there's so much sadness and awfulness. But every era has sadness and awfulness in some description.
I feel like, looking back on my life, that the 90s was the most fun decade I've had.
Yeah. And I'm glad we were there for it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd made more of it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, the 60s would be great, but
Well, the 60s for music. I mean, so much happened in the 60s with music. That's when pop and rock really took off and did their thing, right?
Yeah, but then I'm glad I've experienced the late part of the 70s and the 80s for music as well. So I'm just happy to be where I am right now.
Yeah. Oh, look, going back to the afterlife thing, would you come back if you had a choice, I guess? Would you come back as the opposite gender? Yeah, that would be, I think,
I've probably been here as the
a
opposite
useful
gender
experience. But then
at some point.
But then if we are reincarnated, we don't carry any memory through to this.
No.
So how are we learning? It doesn't make sense.
Because it's not human memory. Your soul remembers it. Your soul knows it.
Oh.
But you're not supposed to know that. Otherwise, you would carry every lifetime with you, and that would be too overwhelming.
Quantum Leap, yes.
I loved Quantum Leap. I know they've brought it back, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah, but not with the same people, obviously.
Wow, Penny's on form. My parents used to hit me with string instruments. They had a history of violins.
Oh my goodness.
Right, I'm going to try and get to the end. Oh, look, Marcus, we mentioned void fill before.
He's got some more.
2 big bags. Excellent. Okay, I'll drop you a message in the week. Let's touch on this one, and then I'll whiz to the end of the chat, and we'll have to start thinking about wrapping
there's
up.
another question below.
All right, we'll do a few more. Been watching some of your old videos. Well, thank you. Recently, what would your favorite video you have made? What's your favorite video you've made?
Gosh, that's a lot to choose from.
God, it's a really big question. I don't know. I might need more time to
Can
think
you
about
even
that.
remember what?
It's something like 1,200, 1,200 or 1,300 videos now, I think. I really enjoyed the sledgehammering a Furby one, mainly because it was kind of not the first time, but one where I'd thought it through, and I gave the Furby a character and the sledgehammer a character, did a whole interviewed them before the fight, and just did a kind of sketch out of it, and then did lots of slow motion of the sledgehammer hitting the Furby and it blowing into bits. I liked that as a finished article.
Yeah,
that was good.
It's nice to look back on our old videos sometimes because, because obviously I have a different YouTube channel and YouTube, profile. That's what I'm trying to think of. And so I get recommended some of our old videos, and sometimes we sit and watch them, don't we, if it's a Friday night with a glass of wine or something.
Yeah.
And what's nice about it is looking back, like they're mostly in our old house, and Ellen was small, and it's
an incredible record of what we've been up
memories
to.
And then we go, oh, there's Monty.
Because it'll be 10 years next year, right?
Yeah.
So we can look back. We can almost time travel. And I think the interesting ones for us are more, you used to do like Christmas vlogs and stuff. So our family appears now and again, and there'd be much more of Ellen in them and Monty, for example. Yeah.
So Married to Reselling says,
hello.
Other than the games cartridge, what's each of your single most favorite sale, and are you competitive when it comes to reselling, sourcing, selling, making higher value sales? I can tell you now we're not competitive because we've worked together. So
I'm just
not
thinking,
really. We don't sort of say, oh, that was my sale, that's your sale. It's like,
favorite sales.
It's joint, really.
I'm trying to think of sales.
I think it's probably got to be the chicken, isn't it? The Emma Bridgewater chicken.
Oh, for you, yeah, that was a great little, because it was so surprising. We had no idea. Well, we knew it had some value because it was Emma Bridgewater, but we were in one of these chats, and in the side chat, people were looking into it, and they're like, "Oh, you might get up to 300 quid for that." And I really thought that was a wind up. I don't know. I tell you what, though, I did enjoy. This is one that just came to mind. I sold a squeeze box, a what do they call them?
Oh,
Accordion.
yes, one of them.
It was such a gorgeous item, and I think the reason that sticks in my mind, it went for good money as well. 300 was it, or something like that? Oh no, it sold once and came back, but it sold for quite a lot of money. Anyway, the reason is my grandfather played the accordion, and just seeing it and photographing it, and it just brought back lots of memories, and that's, I think, why that sticks in my head, because it reminds me of him. And I think my granddad's accordion is still in the family. I think one of my sisters has it. I think Alison's got it, maybe. So probably that one.
Gravel bags. I think Lex answered your question there anyway, and I think you've made videos on it. So just search HMRC in Nick's videos, and you'll
if you search Nick Hill's tax or Nick Hill's HMRC, I've spoken to an accountant, our friend who is our accountant for the company now, actually. What's his name? Aaron. Talks about that. So yeah, have a look.
Ken says, what's your opinion on silent fireworks and just like the World Cup, Christmas every 4 years? No.
Wow.
No. Christmas every year, please.
Christmas every 4 years.
Has anyone suggested that? Probably the
conservative
government. Bar humbug.
Silent fireworks, I could get on board with that.
I think just on a sustainability and, you know, just from the waste and the gases going into the atmosphere and all of that, I think that we should do away with fireworks and replace them with drones, because we see, you know, in the New Year fireworks specials, we see all the drone displays, and there'll be a much more sustainable way of doing it.
Is that affordable for every town and village who wants to have a display?
No. So do away with that.
There we go. Don't sit on the fence. Oh, look, we were trying to get to the end of the chat, but you guys have put in some interesting questions. My son suffered, this is Will. My son suffered with social anxiety when he was younger. We paid £200 an hour for hypnosis. Best money we've ever spent. Have you considered it?
Never considered hypnosis. No, I mean, no, I haven't. I know I see other people talk about how it's worked for them for different reasons, but yeah, I've thought about having it myself.
Look at that. James, he was kidding saying I was 60. Yeah, look at this face.
I know, I wasn't sure if Jake had believed it.
I had around 100 sealed packs of tarot cards. They were slow sellers. Then, out of the blue, someone from Sweden bought the lot.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That was a big sale then. I do love it. I do love the sales where suddenly somebody comes along out of the blue and buys loads. We've had quite a few of those moments. In fact, only last week, when suddenly out of the blue, we sold 4 secured CCTV systems just like that. It was like, well, hey, that worked.
Wow, we are so far behind. I'm just scooching down. Will you be seeing DM? No, we don't have tickets to see DM, which is a shame. Shout if you see something that just jumps out, because we need to get to the end because it's 9:15.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have to revisit this. So save your questions for next time.
I just noticed a question about charity shops. It depends on where we go, but we haven't really noticed it being really bad. Most of them are really good. Sorry, I was paying attention to the
Was that about
fast reading
prices?
Yeah, some of them are you know, quite expensive, but the Hitchin ones used to be expensive too. So
I think there's a definite trend on average for charity shop prices to be rising rapidly.
Will I sell from a cabinet again? At the moment, no, but never say never.
If we found the right place and it worked out.
Is Hitchin happening? Yes, Jack, we're hoping January if you can make it. And
we'll all chat and come up with a date that suits a lot of us, and then we'll have to just plumb for a date and go for it probably in the next few weeks.
Oh, Jack, where was the reselling? Oh, no, I can't speak. Where was the reseller meetup that you went to the other day? Because that looked fun.
I can answer Peter Welsh's. I touched on it before. The best and most profitable item I ever sold was that Atari cartridge. Always get it wrong. £5,200 from a quid.
Favourite sweets? Oh, I used to like the dib dabs with the sherbet packets and
favourite sweets.
Refreshers. I used to eat a lot of refreshers. Refreshers are different now. They're like chewy, but refreshers used to be like the sort of solid type sweets. Bit more like Love Hearts.
I was quite into my chocolate bars, double deckers.
Yeah.
Whispers.
Lion Bar. Do they do Lion Bar anymore?
Oh, that Lion Bars were nice. Yeah. Right. Are we anywhere near the bottom of this chat?
I'm scooching.
Oh, sorry, everybody. I can see questions going past. We are missing a lot.
Yeah.
We will do this again.
We'll be here all night.
But we do want to touch on the fact
keeping you all night.
We're thinking we're going to do our Christmas auction next week. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Talk about that.
So we're going to put out a preview. I've got a load of stuff that I think will be perfect for people for gift stuff. So brand new sealed stuff. You're going to pick out a load of vintage bits of homeware and stuff as well. So a good mix. And we're going to auction it all off as we were doing earlier this year on the channel in this slot. So 8 p.m. next week will be our kind of Christmas auction. Depending on how that goes or how much, if we've got too much stuff, we may do another one. But that'll be next week.
I'm still trying to get to the bottom. I'm speed reading just in case there's something that jumps out.
You might have to go quicker than that. We'll be here for half an hour. Look where the little dot is.
Oh my goodness me. We're very far behind. The car light fiasco was good. It wasn't good for us at the time.
Dressing as Mel C.
Oh yeah.
Laney says should be my favourite video. Yeah. I can't watch that back. I find it
Peppa Pig.
Embarrassing.
Marcus enjoyed your Peppa Pig TikTok.
Yeah, my Peppa Pig. I was going to do another one and didn't find the time. I haven't sold it yet, the set of figures. So I could do another one. Are we there
Newcastle. Yet? Thanks, Jack. I went to Newcastle.
Oh, we must be nearly there.
Wham bars. Oh, yeah.
What's that? There's a Q4 party. What?
Oh.
On the 27th of Jan.
Oh.
Jess and Callan.
Okay, right. We'll try and we won't go for the 27th then.
It'll be earlier than that anyway.
Yeah. Okay, we're at the end. Hurrah! Do we have time for words of wisdom, or are we just going to
quickly
not do that?
Alternative fireworks. Go stand outside, set fire to a £10 note and shout bang 10 times. You get minimal eco damage and vent some anger. You'll feel better for it. Can I just do the shouting bang bit and keep my tenor? Right.
Oh, we are doing words of wisdom because people are in with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Phil says, we are like fireworks, rising, shining, and finally scattering and fading. Oh, that's quite sad, actually. So until that moment comes when we vanish like fireworks, let us sparkle brightly always.
Phil, that's very poetic. Or maybe you nicked it off the internet. Either way, I like it.
I've just got Katy Perry in my head now.
Yeah. Darren, going back to favourite videos, I think. Nick in the bath with a banana.
Yeah.
That was one of those moments, you know, when you have a silly thought and you think, just go with it.
And it made me laugh so much because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
So I walked in and you were just.
And if you haven't seen that video, I'm not going to explain it. You'll have to go back and try and find it.
Woo says, if you want to feel rich, count the things you have money can't buy. Another one, life's too short, smile whilst you have teeth.
Porkies is with us. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. Yes, I've heard that before. Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah. And in conjunction with that, if you think, start today. In a year's time, you'll thank yourself. Whatever it is, start today. Whether it's putting in place something health-wise or
that's what you keep
whatever
saying to Ellen, isn't it? Just
If you want to achieve something, or you want to change your job or start reselling or whatever it is, start now. In a year's time, you'll look back and say, I'm glad I started.
To be honest, that's what she is doing. She's putting lots of things in place at the moment.
Yeah.
Peter says, you create your own opportunities. Success doesn't come and find you. You have to go out and get it.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sharon says, sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life.
Yeah. The first steps are the hardest, but once you've started, all you've got to do is keep walking. And that I repeat to myself quite often.
Once Love Treasure says, be like the Rubik's Cube, no matter how messed up you get or melted, let your colours shine.
Yeah. Well, like this one's pretty far gone messed up, though.
And Andy says, do something you don't like every day.
Challenge yourself.
I've heard, don't do something that scares you. Isn't that Baz Luhrmann says that? Do something every day that scares you or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, in the sunscreen song.
Yeah. So Phil said it's a quote from Tight Cubo. Is that what it says? Bleach Volume 20.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever it was a good one.
Yeah. The love you take is equal to the love you make. Yeah. And that reminds me of that quote in Ghost as well. Isn't it when he says, the love, you take it with you or something? That gets me every time.
Doesn't she say, oh, it's a whopper? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm going to choose that one this week.
Oh, are we? Okay. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's what everything is about. Everything is love.
All you need is love. Okay.
Da, 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 da.
And food and oxygen. But yeah. Right. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you for being with us. We've still got 268 of you with us. So well done for lasting this long. Next week, we will be doing our Christmas auction. We have a whole load of very giftable sealed stuff. You're going to pick out some favourite homewares. I'm going
to put some vintage in there as well, if that's your bag.
Like I say, if we don't sell it all off or we find we have way too much stock, we'll probably do another on the week after or a couple of weeks after. So if you're up for that, keep your eyes peeled on the channel. We'll do a preview to give you all a good chance to look over the stuff, pick your favourites, and then join us next Sunday and have a bid if you would like. There won't be any reserves on anything that I'm aware of. It will sell for what it sells for.
I'm thinking of, but I'm thinking of starting the vintage stuff at a certain price.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure it doesn't go for pennies.
Okay. What she said. Right, everyone's saying goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We appreciate our Sunday chat. It always lifts our spirits. Definitely. We hope it does for you somehow. If we put a smile on your face, makes it all worth it. We'll be back next Sunday, 8 o'clock for an auction.
Yeah.
Right. Now, have you got a video out on your channel? Did it go up tonight?
No, Tuesday, hopefully.
Right. Video coming on Andrew's channel.
I was editing it today, so it should be ready by Tuesday. Wednesday, probably the latest.
I'm probably not going to do a picking orders video tomorrow. I'm going to finish the one I've been talking about where I deep dive into a niche, and that will be out shortly. Thank you all for watching. Are we done?
I think so. Thank you, BCP, for sharing the link to my channel.
Yes, there's Andrew's channel. If you're not subbed, please go over and give Andrew some support. You've been putting a lot of effort and thought into those videos.
Yeah.
So
and Nick features quite often.
I make cameos just to wind you up sometimes.
Yeah. And Joe says, person turquoise waving. So I'm kind of in turquoise and I'm a person waving.
Ta-ra!
Bye.